Hello guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to cover some of the larger changes for the Borderlands 2 Reborn 1.4 update, along with a quick installation guide. This is a mod for Borderlands 2, so it will only be available for PC players. My previous videos covered how to download this mod and get it set up, and Shadow Evil has a guide on his channel for how to set this mod up after the recent UHC update for Borderlands 2. Shout out to Captain Kobe for putting this mod pack together. Make sure to follow both of us on Twitter at Captain Kobe _ and at Hayder Hype. So with that, let's get right into it. Okay, let's quickly touch on installation. After the UHD updates for Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, mods were not working, so Shadow Evil found a temporary fix that's very basic. Make sure you have the newest version of the patch in your Borderlands 2 binaries folder. Next, you're going to have to download the hex edit tool if you don't have it already. I'll put the link down below for that. It's really simple. Basically, once you launch the hex edit tool, you just have to select the path to your Borderlands 2 exe file, which is under your binaries and under the Win32. After that, make sure sanity checks are turned off and see if that works for you. Boot up the game, execute the patch, and see if that does anything. It did for some people, but it did not for me. Basically, it would say the mod is active, but once I launched in-game, no changes were there. So I found a comment under Shadow's video from Gabe's broadcast, which added another step. You actually now go into Steam, right-click on Borderlands 2 and go under Properties, then go to Local Files and click Verify Integrity of Game Files. Then once that loads, I have no idea what it does, but I was able to boot up the game, launch the patch, and everything worked fine. So it might work for you guys as well. But that's as far as I got, and hopefully that deals with most of the problems people are having. But with that out of the way, let's get into additions. So we get the container and fast travel time saver XL by Apocalyptech. The container time saver increases the opening animations of all containers by a ×5 modifier, but doesn't increase the Marcus Mercenary Day chest or the weapon chest in Digistruct Peak. And you guys will notice this right away as soon as you start playing. It saves so much time. And the fast travel time saver XL increases the animations of fast travel stations becoming active, and he lists 3 specific locations where they are the most noticeable. They are in Three Horns Valley, Highlands Overlook, and Hunter's Grotto Lodge. We also get the enemy name fixer by Light Chaos Man, which adjusts several enemy names so it's clear which ones drop specific loot and which ones don't. So for example, in the Tina DLC, the names of tree ants that don't drop the B shield are changed, and the name of chubby racks were changed to fat racks in the Torg DLC because they don't actually have the tubby loot pools. So when you are farming, you can see the name changes and see which ones are important and which ones are worth killing. OB4M4 added an indicator to the badass rank to see if the mod's running properly, so another way for you guys to check. There's also the less blinding damage numbers were added by Elysium, which raises the location of where damage numbers originate. The damage numbers now will also flow upward instead of falling back down after time, and the numbers don't shrink as they fade. The ×1000 multiplier, or K, when you do a lot of damage, along with dot damage, or damage over time, can now be made transparent, shrink, or you can hide it altogether. Along with that, 18 new weapons were added to farm for, and some weapons were given new skins. Some of the unique gear, the Hydateromorphous has a new skin, the Juggernaut along with that has a new skin as well. On top of legendaries and higher end weapons getting new skins, some standard non-unique gear was also given new skins, but with additions, there were also some removals. Badass rank is no longer disabled due to community requests to add it back in. The Badassify mod by Nocturne was also removed, which, as the name implies, increases badass spawn rate, and has now been added to the hard UVHM difficulty. Fast travel to the Unbroken Magnes Lighthouse was removed as well because it would soft lock the Treasure of the Sands quest, so it's just not optimal to have that in there anymore. Marcus's storeroom is no longer farmable, and Atlas relics were removed as well. Next, let's get into just some general changes to pre-existing things in this mod. So Moxie quests will always reward with Moxie gear, and almost all quests in UVHM will reward with blue rarity or higher gear. Cromerax has a higher pearlescent drop chance. They didn't get into specifics, but now it's worth farming if you are looking for those certain pearlescents. The golden chest in Sanctuary now has a 5% chance to drop a legendary. Butt Stallion is more consistent with loot drops and can now also drop legendaries. In terms of gear, Jacob's revolvers were reworked again to be more consistent with Borderlands 1 revolvers. They are described as slow and heavy hitting now, and Doll snipers shoot their burst much faster than previous versions. Along with that, the Chroma, which replaces the Sandhawk and has become kind of the face of this mod pack, has a new skin and is also the first weapon given the new rainbow rarity in-game. And for farming, Pomone and Tumba will now always spawn, and muscles will always spawn as well, which means you can see multiple muscles on a single run. There were some character mod changes, but nothing too major, a few nerfs and some fixes, mostly with weapons not dropping with the correct enemy or giving rewards they weren't supposed to. After all this, there was another smaller patch given for 1.4.0.1, which updated the item part notifier again, gave Captain Flint a better drop so he doesn't only drop the clipper, fixed the problem with blue absorb shields having an extremely high absorb percentage, fix some farming drops still not happening, and fix some of Zero's and Axton's comms. And one last thing I want to mention is there were a lot of changes made to the loot pool, and the official drops haven't been released yet. This is because Kobe wants everyone to get the experience of finding new loot and discovering who drops it without just telling everyone. So if you guys did find something that you haven't seen yet, be sure to reach out. You guys can tell other people, kind of build up your own list or share it around of what weapons you found and who drops them. But that's where I'm going to end this video. Huge thanks again to Kobe and everyone else who worked on the mods for this mod pack. This 1.4 patch fixes a ton of the problems with 1.0, and I would highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't already. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe for all things Borderlands, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Jack acquired his siren catalyst a long time ago. He kept her hidden from the world for years, but